time. Yeah. So while you put your slides on the WhatsApp group, maybe we can try to see with the online teams if anyone is ready to go. Also good to see got Miriam online. Hi Miriam. She was here with us the whole weekend. Has now joined us online as well. Is anyone ready to go online? I'll call up first Team Iraq, if you're ready to go to present. And you can share your screen and go ahead.
Hello, good morning.
Yep, morning.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen, right? Okay, is it clear?
Yes, I can see your slides. So yeah, if you're ready to start, you can go ahead.
Okay.
You bring the lights down.
Yeah. Should I start?
Yeah, yes, you can start, but I'd just like to remind everyone that you've got 5 minutes, and then exactly 5 minutes, I'll cut you off. I'm famous for cutting people off.
Okay.
So please make sure that you stay within the 5 minutes.
Okay.
Thanks.
Hello world and welcome everybody seeing this presentation. Today we're working on building age classification via domain adaptation. As we can see, the project focuses on domain shift possessing a key challenge and remote sensing classification, where model trained on one city often fail to generate to another due to different and urban structure and sensor condition. It can be caused by weather, etc. We address building age classification under cross-city domain shift using Madrid as the labeled source domain and Amsterdam as the target. With the Landsat satellite imagery as the feature basis, we propose the lightweight prototype-based adaptation strategy in which each building age class is represented by a mean feature vector computed from small labeled support set drawn from the target domain. The classification is done via nearest prototype assignment in the shared feature space, require no retraining. We evaluate across support set sizes sample sizes like 2, 4, 8, 16, and report macro F1 scores averaged over multiple trails. Results show consistent improvement from 0.645 at n equal 2 to 0.726 at n equal 16, which diminishing variance across zone. This finding confirms that prototype-based adaptation yields stable interpretation gain under extreme label scarcity. Okay. The key design here is that the script logs the Madrid model as a static baseline with a fixed F1 equals 0.6179, limiting any retraining on Amsterdam. Instead, adaptation run entirely through few-shot prototypical networks, numerical vector across 36 Landsat derivative feature are extracted from both domain. The in-class prototype are computed as mean feature vector from small Amsterdam support set. Each sample is then classified by nearest prototype via Euclidean distance, which is a system that calculates the distance between 2 points in multiple dimensional systems. The assess stability macro of one is evolved across shot size 2, 4, 80, 16, like we mentioned before, over 5 random seeds to measure standard error R without adding extra featured learning layers. This pipeline relies on the library that we use, NumPy to array mass, distance calculation, and Panda for loading packet files, and MATLAB for Matplotlib for plotting, and few shot curve errors bars, etc. The goal here is to evaluate whether sample geometric prototype-based adaptation can maintain class separation at extreme label scarcity in cross-domain setting. What did work for me and what did not work, that I gave a clear improvement with increased sample size, stable monotric trend as we can see the increasement, interpretable classification mechanism, low complexity as it's not as complicated as other models, What did not work is that it doesn't give a strong performance degradation at very low end, as we can see. Sensitive for feature scaling, as it work in the system. Assumption of shared feature geometric across domains. Prototype method ignore cluster separation complexity. Limited expensiveness compared to trained adaptation models. As you can see the result, we can see an increasement on the baseline, even in the smallest sample we took, which is 0.6453, with a standard error of 0.0513, and the other samples show an increasement, which means that our model has done its work. The conclusion here that the proposed approach uses a prototype-based classifier to perform domain adaptation from Madrid to Amsterdam in a data-efficient way. Instead of retraining a complex model, it constructs class centroid from small labeled support set and assign prediction based on nearest distance, making the method simple and robust. Results show that even at very limited data and equal to 2, the model already surpasses the Madrid baseline 0.6179. Confirm that domain shift can be corrected with minimal supervision as the sample size increases up to n equals 16. Macro F1 improves stability to 0.726, demonstrating that better class representation lead to stronger performance. Although small sample sizes introduce higher variance, this effect diminishes as more data is added. Stabilizing the model, overall, the method justifies itself by achieving strong cross-domain performance while remain computationally lightweighted and highly efficient. Thank you. Any questions?
Thank you. You just made it in time for the 5-minute alarm going off. So congratulations on that. Firstly, let's give him a round of applause for the.
What? I didn't hear you.
Okay. So does anyone have any questions for Team Iraq? If there are any questions? In person or online?
Should I stop sharing?
Yeah, you can stop sharing the screen. Right?
Yes, I do have questions.
There's a question from. No, it's fine. We'll take a question.
You don't know if you're me. But, okay. These results are very impressive. Can you show me again the slide that talks about, I think it's the third slide. Can you put it up again? Can you hear me?
No, I can't hear you. Your voice is very low.
Oh, okay. Sorry, the microphone must be here. Can you hear me better now?
Yes, yes, now I can hear you better.
Okay, yes. Can you put up again I think it's your third slide.
Wait, you want to see my plot?
No, not the plot, the slide. I think it's the third, maybe it's the second slide.
Okay, just a minute. This?
Yeah, so I am very concerned about data leakage. I don't fully understand what you're doing, but you have 36 features. How did you come up with these features?
It's you mean the Landsat derived features?
Yes, it's in the third line. It says 36 Landsat derived features.
Yeah, I started from both domains. The class.
I understand. How did you choose these features?
It's computed from smart estate and support set. I don't.
How did you decide on them?
So I don't really understand your question.
Well,
here.
the point is that you cannot use Amsterdam data at all to create your model.
I did not use. I used the Madrid data to train the Amsterdam.
Okay. Well, I will have to. I don't fully understand what you did, but I am very concerned about data leakage. The other thing I should mention is that, we need to evaluate all of the models with the same criterion, and the project specified n. N was supposed to be 5. I forget what it was. 5 something like this, not 2, 4, 6, 18.
No, I remember it was 2, 4, 8, 16. As I saw.
No, it's not.
From the fourth I don't know. This is what I got.
Yeah, but in the description, if you look in notebook, if you look in the notebooks, those are numbers. The numbers, I think the smallest one is 5. So these are very nice results, but you should look again at the numbers because those were not.
I didn't notice. I did notice this info. To be honest,
Okay,
I worked
that's
with
fine.
this. I was concerned too about this. Not gonna. I didn't see it as promising because this sample.
Okay, I'll find the specification later.
Yeah.
But as I said, this looks very impressive, but I am concerned about data leakage.
Okay, fair point. I get
All
it.
right, okay, thanks, Prof. And maybe you can get in touch with Team Iraq and.
Should I stop sharing?
Yeah, you can stop sharing now. We're about to move on to the next team. And they are going to be persons, team number 1. So you can start getting ready to come forward, give your presentation. We also just like to encourage everyone to just pay attention to the presentations from the other teams. So your slides should have been in already, so you shouldn't be working on any slides right now. So please pay attention to the other teams and their presentation.
Do we need to read out the abstract? Can the first page? Do we need to read out the abstract? Can I just?
No, you just look at that matter. I mean, you've got 5 minutes, so you honestly look at line exactly.
So I'll just say this is the abstract. They can read it.
Yeah.
And then I proceed.
Just be careful of the wire control.
Okay. When does
Alright.
it take 5 minutes?
Your 5 minutes starts now, so please introduce yourself.
All right.
No, 5 minutes. Wait, yeah, you can introduce yourself and I'll start the time.
All right, guys, we are group 1, also known as Control Alt Defeat. We have defeated the problem. So we have our abstract here, and just to give an overview of everything, we managed to get an F1 score of 62.9. We used 72 features, and then yeah, so you can just see in the abstract. I will skip the first 2 pages because it's basically just problem statement and all those things. Right, so I'd like to bring attention to this. What we did was we trained on a live GBM model and using the 72 features, which was then saved as an artifact. We then did we trained the logistic regression, which we used for our transfer. Reason why we did this is because the light LGBM was hurting the Amsterdam thing, so we didn't end up transferring that. Yeah, you can just read through the exact steps and then it will make things much clearer. This just shows where we basically started. When we ran the baseline configurations, we used 60 features, and these are the ratings we got of the F1 scores here on the bottom. Yeah, and then this is how we end up choosing why the 72 features. So what we did was we ran it 3-5 times, and then we compared every other stage with the baseline. And then we saw that when we added the features of bend ratio, which is now the 72, that's when we got our best results. When we added more features, we saw that it would hurt the others, so it would decrease the scoring. So then we decided to go with the run number 3. Okay, so why run number 3 is because what's within that band, we have the contrast, which then captures absolute spectral change before and after 2003, and then the ratio is basically invariant change signals, and then it transfers better across cities. Yeah, so we rejected the index period stats, the band trends, index level contrast, and so forth. Okay. Yes, so the regression model. So we moved from, initially we had prototype, which we moved from to linear regression, where we first initially did a regularization of 1.0, which basically gave us the scores. But then we also tried Coral, which we also saw didn't work perfectly. Okay, so we then tuned the logistic regression to 0.1, which made it more stricter, which basically gave us now a better score. So you can see the rest of the tries with different regularizations. And we saw that 0.1 gave us the best result. Yeah, so those are the first 3 rounds. So we did now the baseline, the first one with the 0.1, and then the second with the 0. I'm sorry, the first with the 1.0, second with 0.1. 2 minutes. Oh, 2 minutes. Go, guys.
So with the few slots prototype, we observed that at around 50, 0.511, 0 slots, no Amsterdam labels. So when we transfer that to Amsterdam with the mean, we observe that this approach is around 0.60. Thank you.
Yeah, so then what we rejected was basically the following: the index per state spent linear, Okay. And then this is basically our final submission, which is another 72 features, the regression standard scalar, and that brings us to the end of our presentation. Thank you.
You still have 1 minute if you want to say something.
Wow.
If you really want to say something.
Okay. Any questions? No.
Okay.
Thank you.
No, Wait, are there any questions for them in the room? Prof, your question?
Just have one comment.
Okay.
Go back to your bar graph. Just have one comment. Again, it's hard for me to understand everything you did. Go back one.
Okay.
This is terrible. This is absolutely terrible. Never do this. Never do this. This is not this is what they do in newspapers. That is hugely amplified effect. Right? These bars do not start from 0. Think about this, 0.596 to 0.617, the difference is less than 10%, but you show a huge difference.
Yeah.
This is very misleading. Don't do this.
Okay.
Don't do this. This is bad.
Okay. Noted.
Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, what people do is they cut it off at the bottom there, so it looks like it's 200% difference, but it's not 200% difference.
If I have another presentation where we have it.
Okay, yes, okay.
I can share it.
On this piece, hard on you.
Okay.
That is one
Do
thing.
you have any other questions online or in person? If not so, let's thank our speakers. Thank you. All right, so the lesson for the day there, no newspaper effect. And now we can move on to one of our teams online. Is Nigeria ready to present? Team Nigeria, are you ready to present? Online. Okay, then, oh, there you go. Obi, are you ready?
Yeah. Okay. This from Nigeria. This
I
from
can't hear
Nigeria.
you. You are breaking, Obi.
Unfortunately, there was a misunderstanding in the time. So my colleague that assigned to join yesterday. Okay, can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you now. So are
Can
you
you hear
able to
me?
present now, or do you want to present at the end?
Not yet. We are still working on it. Not yet. Because
Okay,
we actually
so-
joined late, so we are.
Okay, so we'll try to see how we can accommodate you, but if not, then you might lose your presentation. So I encourage that you be as quick as possible. Can we try another on 19? Maybe
Okay.
Tanzania, are you ready to go? Is Team Tanzania ready to go? Is anyone?
Hello, good morning. Good morning. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you, Leonard. Go ahead.
Yeah, I'm Leonard, and then the lead was Jonas Angula, who was given the permission to log into the server.
Yeah.
But due to the problem, he could not work on that because of the connection. So I worked on this one, and then I got some few results. I think I can present now.
Yeah. Okay, go ahead, Leonard.
But I think I can present because I'm still
Yes.
working on that one. It's not easy.
Okay, are you able to present now to start your presentation? Can you do that?
Yes, let me share this.
Okay. Go ahead.
I'm presenting only the results. Can you see my slides?
Yeah, you can see your slides now. Go ahead, Leonard. Thanks.
Okay, Tanzanian team is presenting now. And then what we have found, I'm presenting only the results.
Yeah, that's good. Go ahead. Go
Okay,
ahead.
we have decided to use the deep learning model because the data set is time series. So we said, okay, fine, let's try to use LSTM model as a basic one. So what we got from the training model, the training data set, we got this one, F1, you can see is 0.6187. And then when we train this one, the accuracy, we got 0.6688 on the LSTM. And then this is the confusion matrix. You can see on your right-hand side, we have 62 on C1, 58, which previously on random forest was 81 something. And then we have 63 on C3, and then 68 on C4. This is the confusion matrix on the training data set. And then I was working on this Amsterdam model, Amsterdam data set. So I started with this zero shot on the first one. So when I trained it and then I ran on this one, I got F1 is 54%, as you can see. So these are the results which I have by now. I submit.
Thank you. Thank you for your presentation, Leonard. I don't know if there are any questions yet. Prof, do you have questions?
Okay. I need to speak here. Thank you for your presentation. In the
Yes.
slide that's showing, notice that it says expected accuracy is 1 here. This is not actually a predictive accuracy. So this number 0.6688 is not really reflecting your results. So take some time to understand what this is showing. So go on a couple of slides. Because it says in sample accuracy. That's on the training data itself.
Yes, yes.
All right. So you should not point out that 0.66 as a significant result. Okay, that's not on your testing. Right. Here also, you did point out the individual accuracies, but the important statistic here is the number on top of the graph at the left. It's your mean F1, right?
Okay, yeah. Yes.
So that's what's really important. Okay, you might get improvement in some of the numbers and less performance in others, but really the summary is that number on the top there. Okay, so it looks like you did zero shot, and are you still working on the few shot?
Yes, because I'm using the deep learning, you see. So this one to change on the labels, it is taking time because it is giving errors. So I need to fix those. Yeah.
Because the transfer should take no time. Because your model should be trained on Madrid and not on Amsterdam. So that
yes.
if it's taking time, if this is taking time, then maybe you also need to be concerned about data leakage, because it should take, your model should be done at this point. It should take no more time.
Come again?
It should not be taking any more time. If you're doing something that takes a lot of time, you are probably doing something wrong. You need to be very careful only to use Amsterdam only use very little data from Amsterdam plus your data from Madrid. If you're doing something now, if you're doing some kind of retraining with a lot of data from Amsterdam, then you are doing something wrong.
No, I'm not retraining on the Amsterdam data.
But then why is it taking time? Because you have your model already.
The issue here I'm getting is just the because I'm using the deep learning model. So the issue of representing the label is different from when you are using classical machine learning like random forest.
I don't. All right, I don't understand the issue, but yeah, I don't understand the issue, but I am always concerned about data leakage. So I'll have to see what you're doing to really understand what the issue is. All right, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Maybe Team Tanzania, once you're done with your final results, you can just send that through, and we can look at it on the side as well. So 5 minutes is up for Team Tanzania, and we'll move to Team 2 here. Can we just thank Team Tanzania one more time? All right, we will move to team number 2. And guys, I just want to encourage you that, though these are other teams presenting, please ask questions. You need clarity in anything, because it could also be helpful to others as well if some of those questions are asked and answered. Okay, team number 2. Is it 3 now? Oh, you wrote your name. Okay. Okay, I'll start the time.
No, I just want to reference it in case they come up. Okay.
Okay, you have 5 minutes. I'll start the timer as soon as you start speaking.
Hi, everyone. So with how do we go to the next slide?
Just click on the screen first.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Okay, so with our approach, well, there were like several things we tried, like for example, the support vector machine, it took too long. So no, LSTMs, I saw it, I was like, no, because you're just chucking dots at it without any feature engineering. So then we landed on the light gradient boosted classifier, which if the specific one we use is GPU enabled, so it will run faster. And also because it selects the top features, there's also less of a curse of dimensionality going on, because we do end up have like 106 features just chucking it at it. And we did grid search for hyperparameter optimization with some additional smoothing, where we take the classification results and then we consider the certainty of the model with that classification, as well as the surrounding data values, what the classification is, because buildings are like spatially correlated. So if all the neighborhood is like classifying one thing and you're the odd one out and you're very uncertain about the classification, it changes the classification to the surrounding neighbors, theoretically. And then we did feature engineering. Basically, it's just everything that was mentioned in the notebook at the end, and we saw that per decade statistics were most effective, which makes sense because the early and late that was there before wasn't fine-grained enough for the classification. And then for the transfer, we did like an ensemble transfer where we have like 3 different prototypes going on, and then we averaged the probability from the 3 different prototypes and classified based on those probabilities. And with AI, just, chuck everything at Claude and choose whatever appeals to you.
So we did have a few other experiments that we did try, but didn't work, like the balancing experiments that we did. So we did attempt to balance Madrid because class 2 was the largest class, because to reduce the model's tendency to confuse other classes to class 2. And then we did equal undersampling, which lowered Madrid's F1 to 0 to 61, which was less than the baseline that we're given, and then class 2 weighing, and that did not improve the results. So the final decision was to keep the Clean Madrid, baseline. And we also did smoked, which was cleaner, but the gain was very, very small for us to keep that. So that's one of the things that we tried but did not work. And then some AI tools that we used are Claude, GitHub Pilot, ChatGPT, as well as Google's Gemini. Yes. No, sorry, we're not done.
So the code is still running. So for the cross validation that was in the notebook, we were able to get up to like 66, 67 with some like at some like standard deviation. And with the prototype approach, we saw that from 25 shots and then less, it didn't perform as well as the original prototype approach, but thereafter it seemed to perform better, though I'm still getting the results for the solid numbers in case I'm misleading anything. But for the 25 shots thing after smoothing, we're getting an F1 score of 0.64 so far.
Yeah.
Any questions? Yeah.
On your previous slide, there's a little part where someone said invalid because too good of a result. What do you mean by that?
What too good of
Yes. That one. So it happened that we got a very high F1 score, and it was because of a mistake that I did when we were trying to balance class 2 for Madrid. Yeah, so it gave us a very suspicious results, and we did find the mistake that we had made and fixed it, and then it went back to the results that we had expected. Yes.
Okay, for me, I wanted to say maybe you guys should also try SG Boost, because just running it without doing anything, you will get a mean of about 64. So yeah. So it's something that you guys can try.
Another thing that we did was instead of doing the data as a whole, we divided it into segments of 10 years, 10 years, and it made the data a bit more clear. Yeah.
Okay. Any final words? Your time is up.
Okay.
Okay, good. Cool. Are there any questions in the room for the team, Prof?
I suppose I should come up.
Yeah, and I'll also just wait for other questions in the room.
I tried to keep brief. So the 10-year feature, you made these. They were not originally there.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's very good. That's very good because it shows some insight. So that's extremely good. So you're saying that the runs that you're doing now, you're getting 0.64 for 5 points retrain?
I can show you. So at the end, for 25 shots, I'm getting 0.64.
Okay, yes. Okay.
Yes. And 0 shot, it can reach to 0.59.
Okay.
Yeah, but like with the smaller shots, it does decrease and then it increases.
Okay.
Yeah.
But on Madrid itself, you were getting 0.66 or something.
Yeah, but okay. So from previous results, at 200 shots, it can get up to that level.
Okay.
But that's only on 200. So after 25 shots, not before.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Right, good. There's just so much I can't understand everything, but
yeah. I don't know.
Okay, let's take team number 2 one more time. Thank you. So we're going to move to online again. And again, I encourage you to ask questions, guys. Come on. When the other teams are presenting. So Team Ethiopia online, are you able to share your screen and start your presentation? Sustina. And then I'll just ask, is Nigeria ready to present now? Obi? Okay, so team number 3 in person. Are you ready to come up and give your presentation? Okay. full screen.
Yeah.
All right. Also, guys, I noticed with the teams that came up, just let us know who's in your team, from which countries, or which or what they're representing as well. Thanks. Yeah.
Oh.
Here's the link.
Yeah, so hello everyone. This is Team 4 with presentation on the challenge. So how do you go next? It's not okay. Yeah, so yeah.
Yeah, fine.
Oh, yeah, no, the introduction. Okay, so hello everyone. My name is Kepatinori, presenting for Group 4. So that's the group name, Sakemaza, initials for each of our countries. South Africa, Madagascar, Kenya, and Zambia. So we started with our initial exploration analysis. So we did a PCA just to see which features were most varying on the data set that we had. So when we did PCA with this one, we saw most of the static features are the ones which were carrying most of the variance. But that does not mean that the other temporal features did not carry useful information. So that wasn't the conclusion, but it was just showing us that if we went with that approach, we would most likely not succeed. So so we did a couple of models to try and capture the temporal data. So we tried downsampling the Madrid dataset. Remember, there was that issue where the class 2 was being classified more often because so we tried downsampling on that one. It worked. So these others also didn't work. The nearest centroid, we did PCA with random forest and PCA with XGBoost. So yeah, we tried now PCA with XGBoost. So we trained XGBoost on 100% of Madrid, and this was the result. We got an F1 of 0.63, which was a slight improvement as compared with the random forest. And then, what you can see here is the imbalance that was then in class 2 reduced, and the accuracy on class 1 also improved. So if you also check the features that the XGBoost was using, you can see that the temporal features started coming up. So it's not just the static. So the initial assumption which we had, the initial analysis done with PCA now shows it was, the temporal feature might not be varying a lot, but they are carrying enough data for classifying the age of the building. The other graph shows Prof had asked a question on the correlation of each of the variables, and maybe some could be repeating. So so that's showing the correlation of those ones. Then we did the zero-shot transfer, so it's just taking the model and just trying it on the Amsterdam data. There was a slight drop, but it wasn't as significant as the random forest, which was the initial baseline. So you can see the random forest, it had 0.48 on our model. So then we did the few-shot adaptation. So on the few-shot adaptation, we were so with the confusion matrix for each of the steps we were using. So we went 25, 50, 100, 500, 1,000. And you can see the graph as it progresses. So there was a huge jump in the first 2 stages from 25 to 1,000. So the accuracy improved up to above almost 65. And the results are right there. So this, there's no text here, but here we were trying to see whether after training it on Amsterdam, whether it was forgetting what it had learned on Madrid initially. So there's a bit of forgetfulness there, but at least it was more of a generalist. We concluded that it's because maybe it's because it was more of a generalist than right now. So maybe that's what we were saying. Thank you.
Okay, does anyone else in the team want to say something quickly? No? What's the result? Okay, go ahead.
No. I just want to add that when we were exploring the PCA technique with XGBoost and the random forest, we realized that it was instead going down, and accuracy, like if you can compare from the baseline model where we had, so there was a difference that the first one, it was on 59, with the PCA, the random forest was on 59% F1 score, and then the PCA one, it was 63, which it was much improving. And then when we made the PCA with XGBoost, it moved from the baseline of 56 to 41. So we just concluded that PCA helps random forest to make more than it helped with the XGBoost.
Right, now your time is up. All right, are there any questions in the room for team 3? Or online? Is anyone wants to ask anything online? Don't see any hands up, but I see Prof running up already. So
there's one graph I didn't understand with a very large block diagram on the right. This one is that. What is that showing?
Correlation among the top 50.
Along the features. Is that features?
Yeah, the features. The features.
Okay.
The correlation amongst.
Okay, it's not 50, less than 15, I guess.
Yeah,
Okay. All right. Well, yeah, that's quite valuable.
Yeah.
One thing I want to say is that for us old people, we can't read such small.
Yeah.
I understand the time is very short, so you have a lot of information. But you should maybe consider
definitely
to try to cut down your information as much as possible.
We're actually thinking putting that content on this notes, but when we realized that we don't have a screen, it was going to be much more fast to project to share what we actually planned to put the image, the graphs in the full slides so that everybody can see and then explain. But when we realized that it's only one machine, so we just decided to split everything on the same slide.
Okay. And I did have one other comment. You go down here. You keep going. This one here.
Yeah.
You say it's a huge jump. You're doing the same thing here that the other group did, is that you start your scale at 0.5. Yeah. So it looks like an enormous jump. In fact, it's only a jump of 0.3, 0.03.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit. Just watch out for this kind of thing.
Yeah.
All right, thanks. Let's take team 3 again. It's also good to see that people are trying out different things, like including the correlation of the features themselves. That's really cool. Brings a different feeling to the solution. So, even encourage your teams when you're rolling out your hackathons, to come up with, either the ideas they feel, could either be useful, to bring out the features, of what you're working on themselves, or, even different applications of the work that you're doing. I'm going to try online again with Team Ethiopia. Are you ready to present? Online, Team Ethiopia. So Sina, is she online? No. Nope. Obi, Team Nigeria, are you guys now ready?
Sorry, we actually joined yesterday as the team lead was not available. So I don't know if I can ask if the presentation can be made after lunch. Otherwise, we might have to.
Yeah. I think after lunch might not be a possibility because we'll have a constraint on this side for flights for people that are going to have to depart. So,
but you can send us.
You can send the slides, and I think that the team will be in touch with everyone else to just say what all the teams need to put together as part of the generated results. Okay.
Okay, sure.
So I'll come back in person again. Yeah, I'll come back in person again, and I'll say team 4. Then come present. Why are your numbers so different?
Oh, we had originally did 2, but then we got the 4.
Okay, all right. Okay, so team 4, you ready to go?
Yep.
All right.
Oh, hello everyone. My name is Chabila and this is my team group 2 or group 4. There's Naomi from Zambia, Latte from Ghana, and Alex from Mozambique. And we're just going to present on what we did. How do you go to the next slide? Enter. Now there's a PDF here. Okay, I was gonna skip the abstract, but we're tasked to classify the age of buildings using satellite data, and we're just going to talk about how we used XGBoost to do that. So, this is another thing. Sorry, is it enter or the? Yeah. Okay, that works now. Cool. So, in the original notebook, they used random forest. And we decided to try a bunch of things, but then we ended up sticking with XGBoost, which is similar to random forest. They both use decision trees, but the difference is XGBoost is able to learn from the previous errors and then carry that error and correct for that. So that's what we did. We used XGBoost on the Madrid data and transferred that to the Amsterdam data. So just showing the confusion matrix and how we so for the features, we balanced them to the minimum number of, so we balanced the data from each of the classes to the minimum number, which I think was about 13,000 for the lowest class, just to have, because class 2 had more data points than all the others. So that's what we used for the features, and then we use XGBoost to train that. And outperformed is a big word. XGBoost just did 3% better than the original notebook, but we could not get it to go any higher than that with any of the other techniques that we tried. Cool. So as I was saying, this feature engineering that we did, we had all the classes to have the same number of pixels. Cool. And this table just shows some of our F1 scores. There was sort of a slight improvement as we went down from 5 to 100 shots per class, but still not a great F1 score. Yeah.
So after change the model and transferring it to the Amsterdam data, in the very short transfer, we see that the model does better in the latter years, but is somehow incorrectly predicting the earlier years, but then it improves after the 25 shots and the 100 shots.
Some of the other models we tried, we also tried to increase the number of forwards and repeats. That wasn't increasing the main F1 score in any way, maybe just slightly, but it wasn't much. And also we tried deep learning using XGBoost, CADBoost, slide GBM, random forest, and also histogram gradient boosting.
So we use AI to learn how buildings and how buildings of a different age appears and evolve in a satellite image over the time. And we use tools like Cloud and ChatGPT to divide in reducing time spent on errors significantly. And AI was used throughout for a code adjustment, debate, and different ideas, but our reported results were run and checked by the team.
Cool. So our final F1 score was 0.65, and we didn't really want to mess around with the features a lot because that didn't work. At first, we tried adding more features. So we had the different colors, your RG
UV and the infrared, and we tried to get some color indices from that because you can then check what the color of the building, how the color of the building changes over time. And XGBoost is really good at figuring like in the small changes, but that didn't really increase the F1 score the way we wanted to. But yeah, cool. Thank you. Any questions?
All right, are there any questions in the room? No, there's one question, so you can come up quickly and ask your question, so everyone can hear it even online.
Yes, so maybe if you don't mind, I would like you to go to the slide where you mentioned the mode. Yes, there. Yes. No, please. Okay. Yes, there. So you mentioned deep learning using XGBoost. Would you mind telling us which deep learning model you used? Because I'm assuming deep learning and XGBoost, those are two different. I mean, XGBoost is a classical machine learning model, yeah?
Yeah.
And deep learning. So which deep learning model did you use?
Gradient. Tuesday. I don't remember. It's gradient boosting something. Not sure I remember what it was.
So it was a classifier. You just used one of the classifiers from the package.
From the package.
So you can talk and find out from the code.
Okay, all right. Thank you.
Cool. Prof, you have a question?
Okay, so you use the word prototype. I'm trying to understand what this means.
How much that?
I just want to make, because, yeah, so when you say build class prototype, is that something different than what was done in Notebook 4, or is that the same thing?
It's the same thing.
Okay.
Different.
Okay, different language,
Yeah.
okay. So so I think that's good. So one thing you notice is that you actually improved your performance on Madrid, but it was worse on Madrid. The performance was better than the baseline, but when you tried to transfer, it was worse. So it looks like you're capturing features that are particular to Madrid, yeah, that's. I mean, you expect that. You expect that might happen.
Yeah.
So I mean, in practice, then you would not prefer that model, right? You would take that as a symptom that you are fitting too particular to Madrid.
Yeah.
Okay.
The question is, okay, to your own team or to all the other teams. Okay, so what's going to happen now is that we will have a feedback session, so you can come back and ask those questions. So I think we've had all the teams present right now, except Ethiopia and Nigeria, but I'll check again if Ethiopia is online. No, they are not online. So I think that we've come to the end of our presentations. So we'll break now. Ram, how long will the break be? 30 minutes?
Yeah, we can, but we are running a bit late, so
Okay.
it's supposed to be done by 10:30. Can
Yeah.
20 minutes?
We'll take a 20-minute break, and then we'll all come back here. So just thank all the presenters for the session. And thank you to those online. So just remember to please come back in 20 minutes, and then we are going to give the feedback and start moving towards the wrap up of what's been a very intense week. Thanks.
Yeah, so we can go to break. So we're going to the library for coffee break. The coffee here is finished. So let's just go on. I hope there's still coffee left.
Yeah, anyway, like I said, and yeah, and then just to set up. Yes, yeah. And then we
So what's like we have to that
okay, so the first step is we need to do is to quantify the need. And so what I would say, so one of the questions I made a note was, how many people run 20 months? How many survey you need? Then I need to say, right. Yeah, uninflatable. Just yet. I'd be able to do the thing like so we can have a conversation first, then bring something to it, and then at that point we say, then I can join the conversation and say, okay, yeah, that's what we should do. We do a proof of concept to check the difference and where the cost, so we're going to need credits wise. We have a UK organization that can give credits to. So UK, so I just you have a European.
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, registered trust.
In fact, if you can use the IAU,
yeah,
first price.
Okay.
But Sid also in Sid mine as well. It's key to have a conversation with IAU, potentially about broader scope of works, that sort of thing. So I think if you can if this project opens up the door, let's say, or the opportunity for Sid to be able to explore IAU, then he's going to see. So and I think if we get quite a few credits, we run enough credits with the credits, not improve out the system, check things, that sort of thing, and then potentially get on to paying for hackathons after the first couple of that. So that's really how we want to get the kind of support and think leverage IU relationships.
The only other thing is just the timeline. So now the team want to do the hackathon by end of July. Right? We're still negotiating, trying to push them back. Right? But in the worst case, our current club crowd idea, they can support 1 or 2 hackathons. But if there's too many, I don't know, too early for us to do that. So what would you say is a reasonable timeline for all of this to get the prototype done and to get the actual credit for it, even if we have to purchase it?
Yeah, I mean, you can do it a couple of months. Everything depends on how quickly we can get information, how quickly we can test, all those kind of things. So the more capacity that you've got on your side actually will help the kind of process. Because most of the bottlenecks are going to be testing it, running scripts and testing it, so that that's what it's getting those things to get into what's critical.
And are you based mostly in Cape Town? Or you go to the UK?
No, I'm back to the UK times a year, so I'm pretty much based here most of the time. So I'm going away end of next week. But I'll be online. So we'll be able to do whatever we need to do in the interim. But the starting point is drop your email.
Yeah.
So I can couple of questions, couple of bits of info, so I can gather some info, and then I'll say, okay, this is what I see the opportunity.
Yeah.
So I think we should position it, and then I think we then open and then at that point you email. So the open the conversation, and then I think if you can use the IU as the vehicle for the credits, I think it would be great, because then we can apply the credit into their anonymous account, and we can then use them in buy whatever the cheapest way to do it, which is fine. But again, it doesn't really matter, because once you've got the text right, you can run even. UK, France, you run it matter. You just pick on location. And maybe if it's like, if you've got I don't know if from different countries, so together it's going to be. I think that's kind of with it. And I think once we got the commercial side, then we'll do, I think, a workshop. And then figure things out, test it, and then off we go. So, but and involves from a kind of a high level perspective, and we can float our computer to AWS. I think it's going to be fantastic.
Yeah, we'll get the sorry. So just give me some context. We had some personal changes to the program. The lead, the person who developed the product, since April, we've all been scrambling to figure out who's going to do what. I wasn't even part of this.
Oh, really? Okay.
After this, sit down.
Okay, yeah, but if it works, I think people will just again, I'm very limited.
Yeah.
Calls, perspective. Got them should be able to make it work with that. It's relatively like conversation. It's relatively straightforward. Use that in the relatively so image, set up a server, make an image, replicate it. So it should be straightforward. Most of the issues are going to be can't connect, or I don't know how to do this to this file. What are the connections to settings? Those are the kind of things. But if you've got permission, you put that thing. Solve it.
The problems we've had the last couple of days were actually that like suddenly servers went down people couldn't connect because they were using the wrong password. Stuff like that.
Yeah, exactly. And like we setting servers, the thing we can tell Theo and Rich capability to do that. Right. Sometimes they're doing it a little bit, so
no, thanks for that.
Awesome. From.
Yeah. But then before you go, I would also like to quickly see one of the so that's also
it's not about it's also kind of like it is particularly It's very much on the recording.
I would say now that statistics that I'm interested in most, I could pick out some of the themes and topics otherwise, but I don't think that's it was some statistics there, wasn't there?
Yeah.
I bring out some of the terms.
Yeah.
So thanks, man.
Yeah, thank you.
Appreciate it. Amazing, you can ask questions. Almost more fascinating than the presentation. Yeah. And then there's a great chance for like the graph. Yeah. What you see, you spend. Yes, it's exactly. 20%. That's about the same. Yeah.
No, I see that. Okay. I have a connection with EWC.
Okay. It's supposed to be as exciting.
Well, okay, sorry. I come in US. But I'm actually not.
Familiar with US. Okay. As a child. Okay. These are awesome. No, it's just
Yeah, they're quoting.
American fan.
Oh, okay.
Gettysburg and the whole.
Okay,
all sorts of stuff. Of the world that's even.
Okay.
None of those stuff is very. And I think it's what one country, you know, the politics, put that aside.
Yes, okay.
And I was not going this, 70, I don't know, here, yet there's kind of complicated. I guess around the region, applies to 300 per day, really is.
Do you have visa problems?
Sorry.
Well, I guess you're visa.
Yeah, so, but I was thinking, I was there long enough there. Was being lost, so
okay.
I could use that just.
I see it.
It's but other problems with you get multiple project materials or you get that to be shown.
You know, I see that.
I see it. Do teach it?
Well, I have a phonics program, so I can catch some of the class. I'm trying to do research. I haven't started with that. And I'm hoping to build on it. So I really like what's happening here. It's in some ways not
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of in business sense.
In a business sense, it's not, in a business sense, also, but yeah, absolutely. When you get these like this, yeah, and the tech here is much. So, you know, I'm very, I'm excited, this is more than what other big questions a lot. Yes. Which is, I mean, if you compare what's going on there, it's just, it sounds like.
Yeah.
Very, very important.
Very, very based with it, yeah, it's just, it's a impact on flow. That is interesting. Really, in this DCL.
Yeah.
Of single book cost.
Yeah.
So, yes. It's good, well.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, so you can't have everything.
Yeah.
You got some negative.
Yeah, that's.
Side effects there.
Yeah. Thank you.
Hey.
I just jumped into a meeting. That's what I wanted to use.
Yeah, you did, absolutely.
Yeah, jump into it out of us.
I'll drop an email and then we'll take it. Just to explore the risk options and just to kind of go.
No, yeah, there was really it was nice. And yeah, it would be. I mean, so it's this meeting and even you have to be in these things.
I'm in the same spot, don't worry, I understand. Okay.
Which one?
Oh,
I was sitting far on. New code.
Not yet, it's some break. So after that, they will give feedback, then we see.
So really.
Tell them they have until midnight to download. Yes, but Monday I'm to no. Okay.
Oh.
It's from that area.
Okay, welcome back, everyone. Prof. Ron, do you want to give them the solutions feedback?
Sure.
So I've also been asked to tell you that you must download all your data of the virtual machines before Sunday night because they'll be deleted after that. I think Sunday midnight. You want to connect your screens?
I'm very thankful for coming down here to South Africa because when I was in Benin, my screen went out. So I've had a dead screen. So I ordered on Amazon this portable screen. It works fine. So I don't even need to replace my screen, which would cost $400. This is less than $100. And I think it's not even available in US. Because of course it's from China, so. Sorry? Yes, I ordered on Amazon, they delivered to the hotel in 2 days.
I'm going to ask you to join the Zoom meeting.
Yeah, yes, okay, sorry. Yes. Still not here? Or are you still, oh, I see, you want to connect me here. Can you hear me? Anybody? Oh, I'm muted. I need to unmute. Sorry. All right. Oh, I see. Something has to happen. I tried to. All right, I know what I did.
Yeah, I think you can mute yourself.
I am. Oh, the microphone too?
Yeah, because the sound is going through the.
Oh, all right. So the question is, can they hear me? Can they hear me now? Am I audible? It says I'm muted.
Yes, yes, yes.
Oh, you can hear me. Okay, super. Okay, I can hear you loud and clear. All right. So I thought that I would make a presentation on Gamma and impress everybody that I could put together a presentation in 10 minutes, but it didn't work. So I'm just going to do a Word file, and hopefully I think this, we can learn something from this. So sorry about the very simple, but I also need to share my screen. So let me go ahead and share my screen. Where am I? I'm here and I'm here. Oh, there are two screens. What are there two screens? Oh, I see. Here, I just used this one. Oh, I see. There's something really strange going on here. Let me see if I can move this over there. Oh, I can. Okay. Okay. All right. So I'm going to have to look up there. Here we go. So I need to share the other screen. Technical difficulties. Where's my mouse? Okay. All right, it's over. There we are. So I need to share the other screen. I can, yeah, I can do some setup, but I think I can handle with this. I mean, it's doing extended screen. So, but we can just do this. They can see that and you can see that. So everybody's happy. I just need to get my mouse back. Okay. Okay, we have all these IT people here, so. All right. So I hope in the schedule there's also time for your feedback also. First of all, I really want to thank you all for being guinea pigs. I don't know if that's an American expression. I don't know if it's familiar to you, but it just means someone who is experimented upon. There were certainly some things that need to be improved in the design, and you are the ones who bore the pain of going through the process of finding out what was wrong. So first of all, about preparation, I think that it was clear that when where's my mouse? Let me see it. Here, let me get my mouse. Yeah. There we go. All right. So it was clear, I think, that when we started out, it would have been better if you had more preparation. I think people were just kind of sort of overwhelmed by the problem at the beginning and didn't know where to start. So so for your own hackathons, I think either you should make some requirement that people look at the notebooks beforehand. Of course, we made the video on Tuesday morning. Maybe we can make that available also for the people in the hackathons. There's the video Tuesday morning, there was the presentation on Monday afternoon. So we could make, I think that might be helpful to do that. Because I think people watch videos more than they like to read things. Okay, and also perhaps I've thought about this. I could make up a Jupyter notebook with some suggestions. Just so that, I mean, it seems that what people sort of devolved into was just trying different just plugging in different classifiers. And also maybe playing around with the features. And that's really only a very small subset of the things that you can do, right? And in fact, those changes, you really don't expect that much performance change. All of these classifiers have been around for some time. So you would only get some slight performance change because you're using the same data. So I think I'll get to it later. Maybe the more interesting exploration is using completely different models. All right, so just one general comment is so really the ones in italics are really the ones that we are, as organizers, need to consider especially, and we would appreciate your suggestions also on how to make your local hackathons more effective.
Oh, so I think one thing that was hard was like separating what is like the code that was used for visualization versus where you could change. So like I feel like if we abstracted all the visualization stuff away and then the rest is just everything that you can change,
That's an excellent suggestion. Yeah. That's an excellent suggestion. I can see that was it was all jumping together, and also I think maybe more clarity on just exactly this kind of thing. Just give a skeleton that people can use to experiment on.
Specifically, like, because I think there was like it was also like, okay, but where at which point if I start thinking things will be like data leakage. So just like saying, okay, like somehow like having them like I don't know, so that it's like a more yeah.
Is somebody taking notes? I need some organizer to take. Are you taking notes? Okay. All right, good. Yes. Okay. All right. Thank you. Okay. Any other suggestions along this lines? So please, I mean, this is for us. This is very maybe the most valuable part that you reflect your experience, and we can fine tune this to make it better for your own local hackathons. Okay. Just a general comment. When you talk about performance improvements, when like people say this one is slightly better than the other. Now, if you have one that's different from the other, but the error bars overlap, you can't call that an improvement. It's so easy to look at small things and your mind tricks yourself into thinking it's an improvement. But if the error bars overlap, you can't tell that's an improvement. Right? I really would like to consider bringing in, if we bring in another city, then that will avoid that you have no access to it all, and that would avoid the data leakage problem. So, and I have to think about how to do that. I really had a hard decision whether or not to bring in Amsterdam. But like, I think originally the notebook only had 50 points for Amsterdam, or 100 points, just enough to do the transfer. But then I realized that you really can't evaluate performance if you have only just enough to do the transfer. So maybe we can brainstorm with the team. I understand that this data leakage was the elephant in the room, right? So I think we need to think on our side. We need to think better about how to address this problem. That's a particularly difficult feature for this hackathon. Okay, so So features. People did spend a lot of time looking at features. And I think that was one very good idea that about using per decade features. And I like this because it does reflect the problem itself, right? You're looking at change in a short period of time. So I really like that. Another thing that people did was look for feature correlation. There was someone who did a feature correlation. What that means is that if you have very high correlation between features, you can probably throw out one without hurting anything. However, that also has limited effect. In classical statistics, this is called collinearity, when you have two variables that are close, that are very similar. So in classical regression, this is a big issue. With machine learning, it's really not a big issue. If you have two features that are almost the same, it really doesn't hurt your prediction at all. So I think just to indicate that's probably not going to help you that much. Trying to the idea of eliminating features for modern machine learning algorithms, that really doesn't help all that much. For classical statistics, yes, but for machine learning, it really doesn't help that much. And something that I saw another group use was they created new features from literature. So that's another, that I think I like that very much. I think that's another thing is that should come from this hackathon is people using resources more effectively, online resources, AI, to investigate what other people have done. I think that's one of the things that old people like me, we have to really learn to do that because the scientific community is very active, and maybe somebody has already considered this, and we don't want to reinvent the wheel. By the way, I think I should just share this on the chat so you don't have to write notes, but you're welcome to write notes if you want. Okay. All right. So as I said, if you have the same model with different features, there's really only limited possibility for improvement. I think the real possibility for improvement is changing the model. And this is where I think that we should have done a better job showing what options there are. And so that's why I think that we probably should create a notebook that presents some possible options for people to investigate. Right. And you need to also consider the appropriateness of the model. I know that one group looked at LSTM, and so people often say if it's time series, you should use LSTM. I guess it's something you can try, but you should, when you think about a model, you should also think about the characteristics of the model. LSTM is very good in cases where you have a time series and something that happened in the past has a effect on something much later, right? It's hard for me to think of an example, but it's that idea. You have something that, well, LSTM can also be used in sentences, like like you can say I don't know if they do this here, but kind of young people in US have this habit of saying, I think this is the greatest movie I've ever seen, not. So the not changes everything, right? So if you just look at the words one by one, you say, I think this is the greatest movie I've ever seen. So if you're trying to get the meaning, you think this movie is great. That one word at the very end of the sentence changes everything else. So LSTM is like this. LSTM means that you're looking at different parts of you're looking at something in the past that has some effect on the future. And that's really not what's going on here, right? You're talking about something that has some kind of continuous change, right? Either it's changed over time. That doesn't mean it doesn't work, but I wonder if it's really appropriate. Deep learning, people like to jump to deep learning. I think that's okay here. It's probably too much. But at one time, people were very concerned about overfitting with deep learning, that your model would be too good on your training set. But then when you use your test data, it's not good. But really, I think over experience, people have found out that's really not such a bad problem. You can have a very big model, bigger than necessary, and it doesn't affect your performance. Just it's bigger than necessary. So deep learning is okay, but I don't really. But if you get results that are too good, it's especially on one of the presentations, I noticed that they were getting some very high numbers, and that's because you can always, if you make the model deeper and deeper, you can always get 100%, right? Yeah, you can. You're just, but what you're doing is your model is so complicated, it's looking at every special case and accommodating every special case. So you can always get 100% on your training data with a very, very complicated model. So it is good to be aware of that. I mentioned a spatial model. This is one of my, I guess this is my favorite baby, but anyway, I think that I will think about other possible models to suggest. I think that might be helpful. And then I think that might be give more room for creativity. That's it. Do I have another one? I think that's it. No, that's it. Okay. And I'll just share this on WhatsApp, so if that's helpful for you. Okay, any more comments on your side? I don't know if there's any else. Okay, you're next. Yeah.
So I come from
okay. Yes. Yeah, why didn't you come up to that? Come up here so that online. And you also need to speak into them. I'm not sure where the microphone is. Oh, it's here. Okay, so be aware the online people are here.
Okay, so I was saying that I come from a computational background where we take our time to analyze problems and generate equations or find equations, analyze the equations and test to see if it would solve the problem and then try to solve it. So before coming, I read the notebook. I found some other suggestions, but they were mathematically intensive and computationally also intensive. But then the time is a factor which was not on my side. So I don't know what, but it's always something I was thinking that if problems can be employed, then we'll have a problem with the time factor. So I don't know if you probably have suggestions on how to.
Okay.
But there were some models that you require to probably get some functions or get some equations that can avoid the learning solely Madrid features and then make more generalizations rather than on the Madrid. But then I even tried some with my cluster that I work with, but they were consuming a lot of memory. It was taking time, so I couldn't even continue. So
I see. So are you saying that compute resources were not enough for you to do what
that
you
was one.
Okay. Well, all right. Well, then the organizers should take note of that. I will say that in industry, you do have constraints. You do definitely have time constraints. So in some way that's valuable. But I really appreciate that you did investigate before the time and looked into possible models. I think that's very helpful, and I hope that will become the norm for people in your in your hackathons.
Right, sure. And then another one, for me, I feel like the pre-processing had some influence on the results.
Okay.
Because then, if what I was saying, if I take my time to analyze the data, I will know how best to pre-process it to get it to work well for me.
Sure.
Yeah, I don't know if it was because then on Monday we were told that the idea is to work on the model. So you are given data, the data has been processed. So more or less you have to work with the processed data. But then if I feel like I can pre-process the data in a better way without losing some things,
Okay.
then it would have worked well for me in my.
Okay. All right. So when you say pre-processed, you were given data.
Yes.
Maybe we should make it more clear that you can take this data and do whatever you want with it.
Okay.
You don't need to use this model. Maybe we should have made that more clear.
Oh.
Right. It's just all we want you to do is solve the problem.
Okay.
You have data, you can pre-process, you can create new features, you can remove features, you can do whatever you want.
All right.
So I think, so that's a very good point. We need to make that more clear. Because if you think it's just that limited space you can work in, that was not our intention.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was what we told.
Okay. All right, good. Thank you. That is also very helpful. Did you want to say something?
Yeah.
Can you come up so they can hear you?
It's not much.
Okay, that's fine.
I was just saying. Okay, colleagues, I was just saying that since I see LSTM is it's a potential that can be explored, like
Yes.
you say, it means maybe exploring NLP. It can also be an option in this scenario as well.
Well, that is an option. I mean, I hesitate to say it's not a good option. I have my own biases, but I wonder if NLP is really what you'd want to do in this case.
Okay.
If you think what NLP is good for, it's good for meaningful text.
Yes.
This is not really meaningful text, right? You're just you're trying to classify something. The NLP is more to extract meaning from it. But it might work. I've been surprised many times, so I don't want to say no. Like if someone has experience with NLP and they say, well, let me try what I know on this, and they may surprise me, right? So I don't want to say no.
Okay, well, that's what I wanted to clarify because LSTM is part of the large language model.
Okay, yes, yes. Okay. Anybody else? Okay, good. Well, I do want to thank you. Appreciate your team spirit, really brought talent. And I know people worked very late and working on such a short deadline, there's a lot of pressure. So now you can relax.
Yep, so thanks everyone. I think all the presentations were really great today. But I think as well, there was really some good feedback that Prof gave overall. But we also want to open up for an opportunity where we can give much broader feedback, maybe even some feedback, some feedback back to you in writing as well. So maybe the teams can just maybe put together a few pages report, not something really long, maybe about just what what your main results are from the challenge, and also the experience from the hackathon, and even just how things can be done sort of differently, looking at your implementation for your own hackathons back in your country as well. You can just on the results section work together on that, and then on some of the other things that you see you could do differently, you can just do your own country sort of, or your own context report, or some sort of suggestions on that. Report doesn't have to be so long, so just each one of you, maybe you can just sort of discuss about yourself how you can work on that. And I'll also ask Ram to just send an email to let you know how it will work as well. Cool. All right. Ram, don't fight now. Okay.
Okay, so we are almost at the end of the hackathon. Anyone have any final thoughts, comments, questions, not only about the technical aspects, but the logistics plans that Zorba talked about on day one? Anyone? Yeah. Do you mind coming here?
Okay, thank you. So my question was, so when you are assessing the models and the presentation of the participants, so we are judging on multiple criteria, and I'd like to ask, how do we judge the originality, for example? Because I think originality was in some of the criteria for good scoring. And it's kind of subjective to the person.
Narusha, Dr. Prafran. Well, yeah, that was, I do think that we need to refine the criteria.
Yeah.
That was kind of a sort of wiggle room. So I think that would be a secondary consideration.
Yeah. Okay.
Right. If someone comes up with a really, really new idea, in any kind of evaluation, it's hard to make it completely objective. So, but that's kind of you might say it's something that would distinguish between two nearly equal submissions.
Okay.
Of course, the primary criteria of performance, and I do think that I think that will need to be revised. I would like to bring in another city. So I'm going to talk to my team about how to do this. There is data for Los Angeles. So we may try to bring that in. That would not be available to participants at all. We would simply use that for evaluation.
Oh, and then for so on so if you bring a third city, for example,
yeah.
So we evaluate so we are supposed to run the model with the city, or it's just for the global evaluation when everyone submits their submission?
So I'll have to think about that. Either you do not have the data at all, or you only have a very small set of 100 points each. We might just give you 100 points each, so that there's no data leakage.
Okay.
So something like that.
Thank you.
So these are all the loose ends that we need to tie up. When is the first hackathon going to be? Is anybody scheduling a hackathon in July?
It's not possible at this point.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're planning to start the hackathons around August week.
Okay, good. So we have some time to modify. Okay, very good. So we will have to, we have some time.
Hi everyone. I'm not sure if there are any other questions that are technical related or okay, I'm not sure if there are any questions for Prof. Ron or if you want to ask any questions that are like technical. And I see that there are also no questions online. Okay, just like to add on to what Prof. Ron has said already. So thank you so much to everyone who has indicated their top 3 preferred dates to host the regional hackathons. And as I communicated earlier on, these are not like the final dates. We will sit down with the rest of the team to see how things are actually going to work out. And we're going to communicate the confirmed dates with you. And I do understand some people also say that like they've not confirmed the dates. It's just like estimating actually like when they would like to host the regional hackathon. And on our side, we're going to start with the whole transferring funds situation, which basically takes a very long time, maybe like 2 or 3 weeks. But we're still going to be communicating with each team. So you don't have to worry about that. Like instead of maybe like having sessions for everyone, because I do understand that people have different problems, considering like different contexts as well. So we're going to have like a dedicated session to each of the teams to explain more about what's going to be happening after the Trainers Hackathon. So we're also going to be working the event proposal specifically with your updated budget, considering like what I mentioned Monday and things that you have to include for your own regional hackathons in terms of like catering and the other stuff. But we're going to have like sessions that are going to be dedicated for each team. If you have any questions or whatsoever, you can just like let us know. But yeah, like on behalf of Hack4dev, Charles is going to thank everyone, but on behalf of Hack4dev and our partners, thank you so much for joining us for the Trainers Hackathon, whether you joined online or in person. Your creativity and hard work really just like contributed to this event being a success, and I hope that like it also like gave me like an idea of how your all regional hackathons are going to be implemented moving forward. But if you have any questions, we're still going to be here. You can ask us those questions. Thank you so much.
Okay, so just to go back to what we said on day 1, remember this is not just a technical exercise, although it's a very important part of it. It's also a logistics, administrative, human exercise. So you will be the leads, the faces of your respective regional hackathons. You ask questions about, oh, this might be difficult to do, that might be difficult to do. So all of that is for. Okay. I think it's the power lines for you to figure out. So remember that this is your chance to experience what it is like to host a kind of complex real-time event. So there will be issues. So even over the past few days, you would have seen some of the issues that we experienced here. Transport was late, and we couldn't. We had to change the plans for dinner. Although you don't have to worry about dinner plans for your regional hackathons, you will need to adapt. So please keep that in mind. Make sure that your team is aware and everybody is fully committed. We have some grand plans for all of you beyond the regional hackathons as well. We're still working them out. But in summary, I can say we want to recognize some of the most passionate and successful regional hackathons and potentially create some sort of local structures beyond just this hackathon, maybe some kind of regional hubs for Hack4dev. So this is all plans that we're developing for the future. So keep that in mind. This is not the regional hackathon is not the end of the program, but as I said on Monday, it's the beginning. We want to keep going beyond just this cycle of hackathons. I know that all of you will be tired at the end of the week, But once you go back, rest and recharge, please do start working immediately for the regional hackathons. There's a lot of work to be done both on your side and our side. As Charles said earlier, one of the most important things is to have your thoughts about this week written down while they're still fresh in your mind. So maybe even if you're just taking notes on WhatsApp or whatever, just put down some thoughts, record your thoughts over the next day or so, and then you can write up like a summary report and send it to us later. But we would like to know what your experience was like as a participant, but also what your thoughts are about organizing your regional hackathons when you go back. What are the issues that you sort of considered or thought about in the last 4 days, even the technical ones? What could go wrong? So send us all your thoughts about the current hackathon, but also the regional hackathon. And we are here to support you. So Zodwa, as you know, is always reliable. So she's here to support you. Reach out to us whenever there are issues. Any last questions before we close? Okay, if not, I'll hand over to Charles for closing. Yeah. So we'll do that now. I'm just careful of that.
Okay. I think everyone has reached the favorite part of the week where you all just leave and go home. Hope you're not sad to leave one another. But I think, more than anything, it's very important that we thank the people that made all of this possible. But firstly, I don't think, any of us would have been in this room if it was not, for any one of you that, applied to be part of this hackathon program. And those hackathons in your regions would not be possible without those participants. So we just like to, thank you for wanting to be part of this Hack4dev family. So you can give yourself a hand. And of course, to sort of make all of this happen, bring everyone online, to bring everyone here in person, to write the hackathon call, and to doing, all the hard work behind the scenes to make all of this happen. We need people to do that. And, we've been very fortunate at as the Hack4dev collaboration that we've had people within, our various organizations putting, their hands up to sort of make this all happen. But I think, one of the most key people behind all of this work is Zodwa, who's always, ensuring that Hack4dev is running smoothly. So Zodwa, please stand up so we can all just take you for sound. And then, of course, with all of that work happening, you always need someone to lean on. You need a pillar of strength. And I think, I don't know, Zodwa, if I can refer to Ram as a pillar of strength. But you have worked very well together, pretty good together. So just thank Ram as well. Okay, I think there's a lot of other people as well from the, from the partner organizations that have, sort of, put their hand up as well in ensuring that everything is running smoothly, leading to the preparations, and also throughout the week. So I'd just like to thank the number of people I've seen, move in and out. Even our steering committee chair, Kevin, has been riding around ensuring that everything is running smoothly. We have Nombali sitting at the back, Rusha as well, from, that's been around. Theo, that's been ensuring that idea doesn't break on us and everything just keeps running. So just like to thank everyone for doing all of that work. We've been, I think we've had to Brazil as well, and some of the other team members that are at the back end as a CWE that sort of been helping us with various elements of ensuring that everything runs smoothly. So we can just thank them as well for all that work. And then also just like to thank the steering committee. We've had our various steering committee members that have been coming in and out this week as well. So from the African Astronomical Society, from IDEA, from the Office of Astronomy for Development, and from BRICS Astronomy. So we can just thank our steering committee partner. We've also had Miriam, who's now joined us online. She's moved from being a physical in-person person to being online. So we can also just thank all our partners as well. Also, without money and funding, all of this wouldn't really happen, right? And Dara has played a very important part in ensuring that this hackathon program keeps running. So we can just thank Dara as well for the support that they've given us. Yeah, we can clap for Dara. We've also started partnering, over the last year with Reese as well. We've had Nandi, who's joined us under the Africa Earth Observation Challenge program, and maybe we can just also thank Reese in partnering with us. And right, finally, all of us needed a place that we could put our feet on and stand and have a wonderful venue to work in with good internet connection. Just like to also thank the South African Astronomical Observatory as well for ensuring that they can provide us with the facilities. Right, last and not least, also really important for this is that we've had Prof. Thron with us throughout the entire week. Prof. Thron, really, I think that, you've worked really well with all the organizers, and all of us have had, the opportunity of being part, of this team and seeing you work with them. And I'm sure that all of us can agree that Prof. Thron really brought, really good element and, on all these years of knowledge, was really valuable in us, seeing data even differently. I mean, even myself as, as someone that's been doing research for, for some time. And I really appreciate the way that, you were able to also make me see data and also see the way, that we can approach these various challenges as well. So we did organize through the Hack4dev team something to just thank Prof. Thron. Zodra, you got something for Prof. Thron? Prof. Thron, you can come up. I'm sure I appreciate it. Thank you. Thank you so much. Yeah. All right, and that brings us to the end of the program. I think some of you would have seen the program. There's a drive, so let's go enjoy some meat and socialize before we all go our separate ways. Zodra's got one more thing to say.
Before people accuse me of misleading them, guys, it's not like an actual bribe. Like there's no fire, but it's just that we do have bribe meats. So like the meat has been eaten already, but the entertainment is definitely guaranteed. Thank you so much.
Thanks to everyone online. We're going to close the Zoom. Bye-bye.